Hey, a follow-up clip. So the Z is running right now. A ton of work this morning to try to get them. We're not done. I'll show you where we're at. We introduced the problem. So now our gauge cluster in the dash is no longer functioning. The only thing I did was I was up under the dash trying to zip tie some of these huge looms of cable. I must have disconnected something, so we got no tack, no oil pressure, nothing. Gauge cluster, there's just no reason why it wouldn't be working. So we've got those electronics. As you see, the most important thing, the thing we've been working on right there, is the AEM coolant gauge. We didn't want to lose our tack and our oil pressure. Don't really use the boost gauge. The speedo has not been working. I don't care about the temperature sensor. The needle gauge, because we have a coolant gauge now. You see it heating up, 127, 8, 9, 31. I don't know. I hope it's something simple. We've installed all of these gauges, never caused any problems with the gauge cluster, and then all of a sudden we did. So we had to bump something underneath when we were zip tying up under there. And by the way, it's super fun. We just love being on our back with our back over this door jamb. It's beautiful. That's why people don't want to do projects like this. But the good news is, we got good and bad news. The good news is the coolant gauge is working. You see it heating up right now. It's digital, and then on the side you see the green gauge. You can look at that, but I look direct. I want to see that digital readout. So you see the coolant temp coming up to 144. Everything else, all of our other gauges are working. Our OEM gauge cluster is not working. So maybe we've blown a fuse. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna have to troubleshoot that, because the main thing we want is the tack. I wasn't really in the mood for installing a digital tack. I think it would be awesome if we put one right over here on the right hand side. We don't need the speedo. We've got GPS speedo, we've got boost. Now we have coolant, but I would like my oil pressure and tack, and of course the gas gauge is kind of important. So don't know what we did. Caused a problem though. The good news is we've got a working coolant gauge. That was the project. We didn't try to do as a project where our entire gauge cluster isn't working, but since none of it's working, it's just, I'm thinking it's a fuse. Hopefully that's what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and turn off the Z. We still have to button a lot of things up down underneath in the kick panel, put some pieces back together. But the main reason for this start was to see that it is working, and so we'll shoot another clip when we get everything back together, and hopefully the OEM gauge cluster here working again. All right, okay, talk to you soon.